Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, a She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a 2-page layout using the Change of Scenery kit from Close to My Heart. This is a special for National Scrapbooking Day, their celebration, and I just wanted to highlight it, even though I don't think the celebration's till next month. But it is an amazing kit. It is absolutely gorgeous for all your outdoor adventures. There is a perfect watercolored tree paper that I think is just gorgeous. So what I'm doing here is that I had to print out the instructions. This is a little bit different than the scrapbooking workshops from the catalogs. You actually do have to download and print out the instructions. They don't come with the kit, but it is just on the where you would purchase the kit is where you find that. So what I'm doing is just cutting the papers based on what the dimensions are. They're all listed right there for you. And it just so happens that I am starting on layout 3. And I pretty much, while I was cutting all my pieces for layout 3, pretty much cut all my pieces for layout 1 as well. So that layout will come together quite quickly because everything is cut already. I am loving this collection. Like I mentioned, it's just so pretty. And I think the stamped paper here, they're like stamps with scenes in them. That would be a great paper to fussy cut. I am honestly thinking about buying this again because we do a lot of outdoor things, adventures. The photos I am using for this layout actually are from Pigeon Forge. We went to the island there and did the big Ferris wheel. So I have a picture of the mountains from the top of the Ferris wheel, and I just thought this collection, this kit was perfect for that. So now you can see that now that I have everything cut, there are step-by-step instructions on how to piece the layout together. I am changing it up just a little bit. I did not have 4 photos. I only have 3. So you will see it's just real easy with these workshops to kind of make them your own. I do this quite often. I will have a workshop from the Hello Darlin collection, I believe, coming up this month, and I have one that I switched from a 2-page layout to a 1-page layout using the Hey Handsome. I'll try to remember to link that up above for you, just so you can see how you can really change it up to fit what pictures you have. Or quite honestly, sometimes I just love the little extras that these workshops give you, and sometimes I will just buy it and scrapbook whatever I want to with using my own ideas. So one thing here I did change. I have a little bit of blue sky in my photos, and so I decided instead of using the gray side of this paper, I am actually going to use the blue side, just to bring some of that color in as well. Just another kind of pop of color. So that one you had to dovetail on both ends and place down. Another thing is too, a lot of these layouts are ones that you could definitely scrap lift with a different collection. So, you know, I think it's great to just even take a look at the workshops and just see what layouts there are. And seeing, you know, if you love the layout, maybe don't love the collection, scrap lift it. This one here would definitely be one that I might scrap lift using a different collection. It was easy to piece together, a great 2-page layout. The papers kind of flow across the page to make it the whole layout just kind of flow. So on page 2, I am changing it up, and I have 2 landscape photos. So I am going to just place them side by side across the page. I did back them in white and then also backed them in black. And I'm just going to have them go kind of right down the middle of the page. And then I just have the one photo on page 1. So I did not only did I cut the number of photos down, the photos are different orientations as well, and I still made it work. So I am going to kind of place that, like I said, right down the middle is how I kind of placed it. And then they had these two flags kind of staggered at the top. And in the instructions, they actually will say, you know, place that corkboard one a 1/4 inch from the edge and then a 1/4 inch from the top of the photo. So they are very precise in their instructions. If you've never done a workshop, it's a great way, especially if you're new, to kind of get the hang of scrapbooking and whatnot, because the instructions are quite easy to follow. I also decided to change up the stamped images at the top. I decided, because it's Gatlinburg and there's mountains, I was going to use the mountain stamp instead of just I don't even know what stamp they wanted to use. I think I might be using a different stamp for the phrase as well. I could be wrong on that. I'm not 100% sure, but I did kind of layer them. So I did the lighter color first and then stamped the darker color on top. One thing I noticed too, when you're stamping directly on the layout, and I say this only because I've made this mistake before too, I make sure my stamping block is clean. Because I have done it many of times where I stamp the image directly on my layout, my stamping block is not clean, and I get a smudge on my layout. So I will take a baby wipe and clean off the stamping block before I stamp the image down on the layout. These trees as well, I thought were really cute, but because I had the pine ink, I decided to actually blend the tops of the trees to give them a little bit more dimension. And the fun thing was too, it almost made them look shadowed. So some of the ink came off darker on some of the trees than the others, but that just kind of made it look like a shadow more so, I guess. So just another way that I kind of personalized this layout just by using, you know, the ink and kind of just creating with that, I guess maybe some more dimension with that. So the trees are going to go just across the page. And I tried to line them up. I should have probably measured my one photo on page 1. And so I kind of tried to line the trees up, but they are not, they don't line up perfectly. I use a 3-ring album, so it doesn't really matter so much for me because they are kind of separated by quite a distance in those albums. If you were to use a postbound album, it might matter a little bit more because they are closer together. So it is what it is. Looking back, I am not happy with my placement of the 2 letters for go. They are too far apart in my opinion. I don't love it. But I use tacky glue, and you cannot for the life of you get that up without ruining it. So there's no going back now. So I do wish I would have put the letters closer together. These trees are really fun, these die cuts. So that was the kind of tops of the trees, and then the wood grain had the stumps, or not the stumps. I can't even think right now. The bottom of the tree. So it was cool to kind of piece those together. And then really for the embellishing, I followed, I believe, pretty closely the picture. They don't say exactly where to put all the embellishments. When it comes to the end, it just says kind of embellish with the stickers and die cuts like the photo. So really at this point too, you could have creative freedom and kind of do what you want to do. They did have both those wood grain stars overlapping each other. I didn't love that. So instead I separated them and overlapped a green star with that wood grain star. That's as little as I changed it up, I think, on page 1. And then on page 2, they just added there's a little sun sticker at the top, and then a fern. So I really stuck to that. Although it does look like when I put the arrow down, it doesn't look like I overlapped those 2 flags as much as they did on the layout. And again, that's fine. I think my photos are up maybe more so. So to me, it didn't really matter. And then I just kind of filled in that space with the die cuts. I am kind of looking, I think that was about it. I kind of wanted to add something else to the top of the photo on page 1, and there was a sticker that says "To the Mountains," and I figured that was absolutely perfect. I did dovetail both ends of that, just to give it a little bit something extra. I really like the way that that looks. I kind of used some of the stickers that aren't on the other 2 layouts, and I tried to use some that would go with my layout here. So there was kind of a label sticker maybe, and so I just tucked that in behind the "To the Mountain" sticker just to add a little bit more dimension, and then added a star sticker there as well. And then I'm going to add a couple of star stickers down to the word "C" at the bottom. And then it just so happened I had my freshly baked enamel shapes on my desk, and they matched a couple of the colors. So I added a couple of enamel shapes from that collection into a couple of these star clusters. But that is going to finish off this layout. Definitely get your hands on this quickly if you are interested. I have a feeling this one is going to sell out, but I will have a link down below if you are interested, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.